If rabbits can multiply very fast, why can't they farm them and end world hunger? You still need to feed rabbits, just like any other livestock. World hunger is a distribution problem as well as a supply problem. Edit. Not to mention, rabbit meat doesn't provide all the nutritional value a person needs to thrive. And populations that don't consume meat for religious, cultural, moral, and/or health reasons. Earth doesn't have a problem with food production, but distribution and priorities of usage. Just the corn used to feed cows worldwide is more than enough food to end world hunger. World hunger isn't caused by lack of food. There is far more food available to feed the entire world than is needed. The issue is access to food. Getting food to the starving. Establishing systems where food is available every day and not just sometimes. Ending the sort of political strife and violence that leads to people becoming refugees without food. Addressing climate change that leads to crops failing and food being scarce in a given location. Efficient meat production isn't about how quickly, easily animals breed. It's generally about how much feed you have to give them to produce a certain amount of meat. And also how much they cost to house, put out to pasture, etc. You could breed tons of rabbits, but if it uses less feed to produce a similar weight of beef, then it's not advantageous. Especially when you consider that other meats are more tasty than rabbit. Specifically with rabbits, they are almost all protein and no fat. Eating nothing but rabbits send you into protein toxicity, also known as mal de caribou or rabbit starvation. The act of digestion consumes more energy than it produces. Rabbits aren't healthy enough to consume a lot of. They're not a good dietary supplement. Rabbits alone can't end world hunger. Funnily enough, you can starve to death on a full stomach of low-fat animals like rabbits. Great protein, but they lack other necessary nutrients, including nutrients needed to aid digestion. Plus you still have to feed rabbits. They actually are a remarkably useful source of food to be grown at home. There are good meat breeds of rabbits and guinea pigs. And they can even be grown in a city with minimal yard space. The thing about large-scale production, though, is that raising rabbit meat comes out to about $1 a pound, while raising beef comes out to about 80 cents a pound. You can presume that as things scaled up, price would come down, but I don't think you'd get much societal level improvement using rabbits instead of beef. Still, for home production, excellent. They have only one significant problem. Most folks can't stab a bunny. Still, for people who are comfortable slaughtering adorable animals, and most of our food animals except maybe fish are adorable and don't keep kosher or whatever, you can't do better. It is fun talking to rabbit breeders at the county fair, who are there partially to sell rabbits to other folks. I remember one talking about why she loved the breed of rabbits she was raising, and snuggling as she talked. They are intelligent, and friendly, and grow fast, and get along great with cats and kids. And you get 6 pounds of meat from them. And you can train them. And they taste really good. Rabbits are pets and food. And pet food. There is no world food shortage causing hunger, it's a distribution problem. Rabbits are tiny, very little meat, and require a lot of work to become tasty. Made rabbit a few times and it takes hours and really strong sauce so they taste good. You're better off with chicken, and that's exactly what we are doing. I imagine inbreeding would be more of a problem. World hunger is not a supply issue. There is plenty. The issue is usually political. Countries that have starving people don't have support for them, or in some cases actively hoard food. That happens in places like NK and other dictatorship. The dictatorship actively destroys food, or when given food from other countries hoard it and even steal it from citizens. It's really evil. Rabbits have an absolutely abysmal nutritional value. In fact, if you eat only rabbit you will die of starvation. Much more efficient to eat what you would feed them. They have to be fed. They won't reproduce if they are starving. To feed them would take lots of crops and we would be in the same place we are today. Just a different kind meat. Growing animals for food is very inefficient. They still require resources like food and water, more of which is needed for any meat versus veggies. They don't just magically pop out meat. Add to that the Western yuck factor that a lot of people find them cute. Veggies are the only way to reduce resource requirements on food supplies. We produce more than we need, it's simply not distributed equally, because politics. From what I've heard, rabbit meat is not very nutritious. I don't think that's how it works for a multitude of reasons. For starters, rabbits, just like any livestock, require a specific habitat to live in. You can't just throw rabbits everywhere and expect them to survive in random locations. Let's say there is a centralized location where they farm rabbits, it still gets dicey. We are talking fresh meat here. So you'd somehow have to figure out the best way to package food. Ship the food to everywhere in the world. Hope the meat doesn't go bad for the days to weeks to even months of travel time. On top of that, who knows if somehow when shipping something happens that stops the entire process. I mean, there are just too many issues in both infrastructure and just overall farming of them that would be catastrophic if actually attempted. Not even including the fact that rabbits are just not a good meat to form a diet around. You would need to eat the entire thing to try to avoid protein poisoning because the fat is what we really need and they have little. Another name for it is rabbit starvation.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.